If you are into retro gaming and looking for your next game to play, why not consider Freedom Force? With its quite unique blend of strategy, role-playing and superheroes, there are not really many games like Freedom Force out there. Well, technically the second game here, as the first one has some technical issues that I will get to in a second. And while not exactly new, even if you originally were not looking for a game ticking all three of those boxes, Freedom Force might be the right choice for you. My name is Jesse, I'm the Gaming Greyhound, and in this video I'll give you an overview about the game so you can decide if it's worth your time. So, don your superhero suit, it's time to fly. Let's get this out of the way. While the first game is also great, we are talking here about the second game because the first one has quite an issue with more modern operating systems. At least that's the final conclusion I draw after hours of research. But at least the bug is quite an entertaining one. So if you try to play the game, this happens. And this. And this. So if you want to try the first one, be aware that there could be issues. Luckily, there's a quick story recap at the beginning of the second one. But enough about that, let me tell you a little bit about this game. The original Freedom Force was released in 2002. It was a critical as well as financial success. The second game, while still raking in some good reviews, did not sell very well. It's difficult to say why, but the game's quality should not be the issue. It really improves on most factors of the first one. There were some outside factors which made life hard for this game, such as the legal battle between the developer and the publisher about the rights for the franchise. It released much later than anticipated and probably missed its window of opportunity. Let's talk gameplay. Freedom Force is a top-down tactical strategy game with role-playing elements. You lead a team of usually 4 superheroes through a pretty linear mission structure. To assemble this team, you can choose out of an ever-growing roster of superheroes that you collect by forwarding the story or buy with prestige, which is an in-game currency. The heroes have actually really diverse power sets. You have the acrobats, you have heroes that do elemental damage, you have psychics, as well as mystic powers. The story is pretty linear, but the powers of the heroes and how you level them actually add quite some replay value into the game. And while the action unfolds in real time, you can pause the game at any point by pressing the space key to use those powers to their full strategic potential. As already mentioned, this is a high quality game. But if this is a game for you, depends on how you value those qualities that it excels in. The first and obvious one, it's a strategy game, and it's good at it. While not exceedingly difficult, you won't solve it by just running through, clicking everything and doing whatever without any thinking. So it's not a mindless game, and thanks to the good number of different heroes and different powers, there's a lot of variety to play with. Just don't expect as many options regarding building bases and so on as in the modern XCOM games. It's much more straightforward than that. Next one is the topic of superheroes. You either love them or you hate them. Thanks to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, a lot more people love them than they used to. But a lot of people mostly love the modern approach to them. Here we're talking old school. We're talking Silver Age of comics artwork. And we're talking loads of cheesy dialogue.
This red must have the entire village under some form of mind control.
So if you love that, like I do, this game is perfect for you. If not, Freedom Force probably will get on your nerves pretty soon. And it's pretty much the same with the story. You've got loads of comic tropes, character origin stories filled to the brim with stereotypes. If you don't take it seriously, and you know a little bit about those things, this is a fun ride. If you don't like this kind of thing, you'll probably ask yourself what they were thinking while making this game. On the technical side of things, this is an old game and you can see it. There's no denying that. But fortunately this is one of those games with art design that works quite well with the limitations of the engine. So it's bright, colorful, and thanks to the system requirements it runs on almost every machine. Well, the second part. We have talked about the first game. And as you have seen in this video, if you have watched it in 4K, it runs surprisingly well at high resolutions and modern aspect ratios, which is not a given with old games. Even the cutscenes look surprisingly well in high resolutions. Add that up with a surprisingly impressive destructible environment for its time, and you have a game which will not turn any heads today, but it also doesn't insult your eyes. And with that, we've reached our summary. Freedom Force and Freedom Force vs. the Third Reich are exceptional games for their time, if you like what they are offering. Do you like strategy games? You don't need to rush always into things, you like to take a pause and think about things. But it doesn't need to be too hard. You like cheesy stories and colorful superheroes. Go for it, not much more to say. You are the kind of person that should not miss out on this. You are more into the quite complicated strategy games, or they have to be really difficult, or you don't like strategy at all. Superheroes are not your kind of thing, or you prefer the more realistic approach to them. A cheesy story is just not your style. Then Freedom Force is not for you. But that's all for this video, folks. I hope I could help you out. If you played the game before or after this video, let me know what you thought about it, and which are your favorite qualities, or what you did not like. Until then, my name is Jesse, you were watching the Gaming Greyhound. Goodbye. If you want to help me out, please subscribe, ring the bell. I'm pretty sure you have heard that in other videos before. Bye!